Shayna, hi,
Yes, it
Shayna.
is.
Talk to me. You did this, so I assume.
Okay, well, you were asking.
Do you know these people?
No, I don't. No, I'm just nervous.
Awesome. So right away, I just want to throw something at you. You're not nervous, you're in resistance to that your body's feeling nervous. There's a huge difference. Check this out. I'm just saying I'm nervous, and I'm going to point at you, and you're going to say, and I love that, right after.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. What does that feel like? You laughed, and you know what that... Come up here real quick.
Yeah, Shayna!
Awesome. So this is Shayna.
That's my friend,
right?
yeah.
Awesome. And are you her husband? Okay, cool. Just need to know my boundaries. Very cool. So awesome. Shayna, where are you here from?
I live about 10 minutes away.
10 minutes away. Thank you for making a huge commute. Okay, so right away, one thing she said was that she's nervous, and I said, and she said, and I love that, and then she laughed. And a laugh is a release. It really is. I believe very much from just experiences that I've had, crying and laughing are a similar thing, and that this is how you see the world. This is your bubble, and then something happens outside of your bubble. And the second that happens, your body has to actually adjust to get bigger to fit the mold of that thing being a normal thing. So when something happens here, your body goes, I've never seen that before. Can't believe it. And it actually just released the part of you that didn't know about that, or that was a smaller awareness. Same with crying. Crying's the same thing. You see a thing happen and then you let go of it. That's why later you can think about the same thing and you might not laugh the second time. It wasn't the thing that made you laugh. That's why you had to be there happens. It wasn't the thing that made you laugh. It was that you evolved in that second. So you actually just watched her. She said, and I love that, change. And are you nervous now? It's okay if you are. Is it less? Is it more?
I'm experiencing nervous energy.
Awesome. Cool. And?
I love it.
Yeah. And she laughed at me. Right? So, what did that feel like? You're experiencing nervous energy, and I love that. What happened now? What do you feel now?
Excitement.
Excitement. Well, that's better than nervousness, isn't it? Awesome. Okay, so tell me what your question is, or I know he raised your hand, so I don't even know if you had one. But what's something you're going through? What's a leap? What's the thing you know why he raised your hand?
I completely relate to what you're talking about right now.
Awesome.
I have been working with senior citizens for about 8 years, and I am about to make a change, and it's terrifying and exciting.
Yeah.
But it was a choice that I made with my heart rather than my mind, and
Well,
so
that's-
I'm really resonating with what you're saying.
Yeah. And awesome. Give a round of applause. Now her body's shaking because the old you, the old story, it's going, basically her nervous system is going, we've never experienced this before. Your nervous system is just, it's trying to save your life, and it associates that anything you've never done before is dangerous. So even if you're in a situation that sucks, your nervous system goes, this is fine because we've been here before and didn't die. But it's not the leap that you're scared of, it's choosing to leap. Have you ever heard people talk about skydiving? And they always say, if you've ever skydived or you're about to, if you ever think about this, the scariest moment people always say is when I'm looking over the side of the plane. People always say, for me, the scariest moment, before they do it, the scariest moment is when I'm looking over the side of the plane. But that moment, you're totally safe. You're still on the plane there. They always say, once I let go and I'm hurtling through the air at 10,000 miles an hour, I'll be fine then. Because you're not scared of the leap, you're scared of choosing the leap. And once you step into the new thing, things are going to replace that. So what is the new thing you're doing?
I want to educate and inspire people to make positive lifestyle changes.
Like create your own kind of thing.
Yeah, I want to be self-employed. I want to successful business and educate and inspire.
Okay, awesome. So let me ask you this: why do you want to do that?
Because I'm feeling deeply called to.
Okay, wow, that's a shit. I don't have a problem. I'm getting in my heart and my alignment. Let's fix that. Awesome. So you're feeling a calling in your heart, and what is it that that calling is saying? Actually, it's funny because where she is, I don't want to take her from. It's kind of cool because most people, they want to see the entire vision of the future thing, and they go, once I see the whole thing, I'll be clear on the leap. And it's backwards. It's once you fall in love with the leap, you'll get clarity as you go. You'll understand what to do as you keep going versus thinking you need to see the whole thing. Now, there's a lot of probably old school, like, you gotta have the vision board and you have to have the thing. But remember, any vision board you make right now, any vision you create for your next business, anything, comes from you at the place of you believe your limitation to be. So the biggest vision you can see for yourself is still nothing compared to what happens if you do what she's doing. Because what you're doing is just doing what a GPS is, where you just do the next step. And once you do the next step, it'll tell you the step after it. Most of us want to see the entire thing, which would be like, I want to drive over there, but I need every single direction memorized before I go, which would make it feel way too overwhelming and you wouldn't do it. But what happens if you really just go, what's the next step? Then the GPS will tell you the one after it, after you've done the first one, right? So, awesome. So, what assets of yours are you bringing into it? What skills and talents do you have that are uniquely you? One thing I've discovered in doing these intimate groups that we work with is that every person has thousands and thousands and thousands of things that they're overlooking, that they could be creating with. So, for instance, you could be writing, if you've had 20 years of shit relationships, you could write a book on how to bounce back. And if you've had 20 years of amazing relationship, you could write a book on how to have a good relationship. And both of you guys could read each other's books. And if you go, yeah, not me, I just sit around all day and do nothing. Cool, you could have a YouTube show reviewing shows right now. And you go, not me, I just, whatever. Whatever the hell you do, that's how much experience you have. You've just disqualified it. Most people disqualify things because it's not the way the world already is. And most people make the mistake of saying, how do I do it? Which is your mind going, what's been done before? And then we're making the huge mistake of trying to bring the world that's already in form back to the world that's in form, versus looking in the why. Remember, 92 million songs have been written, infinite songs haven't. So go look in the infinite world, not what's been done that's ahead. And when most people ask other people, how do I do this? They're not asking, how do I go in here? They're asking, what method should I bring into the world? That would be like asking Michael Jackson, how should I write a hit? And he actually answers, write Billie Jean. That's what I did. So write Billie Jean. It was a guaranteed hit. It works. That's what, when you go to like a business marketing seminar, and they say that you have 10 left, or, create this scarcity, or do this thing, or market it this way on your internet, or create your company this way, or phrase it this way, or make all videos 3 minutes or less. All of these cliche rules, then you're not bringing you in, you're bringing a bunch of mental stuff, and you're cutting the world off from this thing. And you going, I'm going to this thing, is a big ass deal. And you have to stay there. And there's going to be a million times where things show up that will want to tempt you, that will feel heavy, like a client that feels heavy, but they'll give you a good check. But it feels heavy. You don't know what you're losing if you take that client, right? Because you have to cut yourself off from that feeling. But if you're in touch with that feeling, that's the biggest gift you can give to the world, in my opinion. The biggest thing you can give the world is your awareness rising. And you connecting to your awareness more. Because the higher your awareness goes, the faster you can see when you're off course, right? So everyone here, we're raising our awareness, and then tomorrow you might notice you're doing something, but way quicker. You might get nervous for 2 seconds versus 10 minutes. You're going, I love that, and then I'm free, right? So tell me, let's do this. I got something cool for you. I want to hear about this business, because you made that leap, and that leap led you to feel a calling, which probably maybe contributed to partly why you're here. I don't know, that you're in this feeling in your body and the leap. Is that involved with that?
I'm here because I was invited to be here, but I'm thrilled to be here.
Awesome. Good choice. Yeah.
So I haven't actually taken the leap in the sense that I haven't left my previous work.
That's why you're still nervous.
I don't know the how, but
Yeah.
I made the decision already.
So it's funny how your mind even thinks there's a how there. Tell them I quit. Now, that our body isn't doing is it's seeing the loss of that, but it's not seeing what it could gain. So I want to show you the craziest exercise ever. I want you to picture that this event that we're at right now was a year ago, okay? So do you remember a year ago when you were on stage? And you were all confident, you felt so good, you fell in love with your nerves, and you just got all free, and you were just like, I hope I screwed this up, and you started just doing this shit. And you started freeing yourself? Yeah, do you remember that? And you remember stepping into your body and trusting it even more. And then after the event, you left and you started creating what the new business was. You started really falling in love. I remember you leaving the event, and for the last year, spending 2 hours a day in the morning when you woke up, just creating your truth, just creating what the event, or what your new company is, what you were creating for the world. Then you started looking into all the different ways you could market it. You started getting it out online, you started making YouTube videos, you started doing podcasts, you wrote a book. Do you remember all that? Yeah. And you also fell in love with life flowing through you versus you need to see the whole thing before you did it. You wrote the book with no idea what the hell the book would be about. The first words of the book, like my book coming up, are, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That's true. So you wrote a book from your honesty and your truth, because the day of the guru and the coach and all that shit's gone. Instead, you brought out you and your authenticity, and you had to live it versus teach it and be a space for those people. Do you remember that? And I remember you just feeling so good and getting your alignment and doing every single thing you wanted to do. So if I do this exercise, I was on my way to an audition once 5 years ago. And on the way to the audition, I started talking about the audition like it had happened. And so I'm on my way to this audition, and I had been in my head about auditions. And I just looked at my friend and I said, do you remember when I went in there? And I was just so funny. And I don't know what happened, but I got so in the zone, and I just kept going and going. And I got with this flow, and everything happened. It was so amazing. And my friend played back too. He was like, yeah, I remember when you got in the zone and it was so funny and you were so free and you just stepped into your body and you stepped into your power and it was so funny and everything. Then I went into the audition. In my mind, I had just done it. And I killed it in there. But before that, I had been in my head. The second I did that exercise, the fear that was in my head, because your mind's brilliant. Your mind is coming up with all kinds of creative things, but we're just not using it. So your mind will creatively sabotage you. It's your mind that says, what if you throw up on their desk at the job interview? That's brilliant shit. If you have anxiety, you're brilliant. You're just not steering your ship, right? So I went into that audition, and I just was so in the zone. Then my friend and I talked about the rest of the day as if it was yesterday. So we said, I remember when we got home, we called those people back, and we just blah, 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 and then we did it. Then the next morning, I woke up and talked about the day coming up as if it was the day before. So imagine waking up tomorrow and going, dude, yesterday was the best day of my life. And you're taking a vision, but you're making it past tense. And the second you make a vision past tense, your mind stores it as fact, because everything that happened in your past is totally true. So your mind accepts it, and it happens. So if you instead think that you were on my stage at the beginning of 2016, and the last year, you can still pretend it's 2017, but all the last year, I remember you just stepping into your soul, and not just giving your gift enough. One reason you were nervous, because you weren't even aware that you were going to give it on like Oprah Winfrey level. Right?
My nervousness is because I'm on stage.
Yeah, but it's also, totally. But one of the reasons we get scared to leap out of something is because we see it at a very mediocre level versus understanding how much harder it is to be mediocre than to be amazing. It is so much harder to be mediocre. You have to fight yourself all day. You have to be full of addiction, stay average. The second you step into what you're here to do, it's actually way easier. And sometimes we're in pain because we're holding on to a lot of heavy shit that we don't want to hold on to. But when you let go of that stuff, you connect to yourself much more. So what I want to offer you, and remember, the first minute of anything is our creative place, and it always sucks, right? So you're going to be willing to totally do this wrong. But I want you to tell us about your year last year and what you do now. Maybe even start with how your company brings in whatever, how you shift 1 million people a year, how you... And it sounds crazy, your mind goes, well, that's just delusional or something. No, it's not. It actually creates a space where your mind will see a faster path to go. So go for it. Give it to me. So I remember a year ago you doing that. Talk to me about it.
So I remember I started with a corporate health education series, and I traveled all throughout Chicago with a number of other people within the health and wellness industry, and we really had a large impact on a lot of people, and I felt like my vision was coming true. I felt like I was fulfilling my mission. I also started writing a book, which I am almost finished with. And I was approaching each day with ease and joy, and everything just happened effortlessly because I was doing what I meant to do.
Wow. What do you feel in your body just doing that? You feel connected. You did it for a minute. I mean, that was nothing. I mean, it was amazing, but you just did a minute, right? But we all saw it. We all connected with you, even the people in the Lincoln seats. And you did it for a minute, and I started seeing, your mind wants to find the fastest way there. It's like Google. That's why when you say, I had the worst day, your mind comes up with all the proof of that too. God, I had the worst day today. Your mind was, why? First, Amber cut me off. I don't know why I know the other drivers, but first, Amber cut me off on the freeway, and then I went to work, and someone I don't know the people who work with me, but anyway, there's no ink in the pen, and screw this person, and life sucks, and you're in this place where your mind wants to make sense of why it was the worst day. If she starts a company with how she now impacts the world, and how she feels fulfilled, and how she gives her gift, her mind will want to find the quickest way there. Now, this sounds crazy to us, but none of us have done this. No one has taken the last month or the last year and said, how did I have the greatest year of my life? How did I give my gift on a higher level? How did I let go of the thing that felt heavy? How did I move towards the thing that felt light? I remember when I did. And then you just start creating, and as you be willing to do it totally wrong, your ego gets out of the way, and answers start to show up, and you got to be willing to do it wrong. Don't try to get it perfect before you do it, right? So I'll show you one other thing, too. Carrie, come up here real quick, if you don't mind. Carrie is going to supercharge. That exercise she just did is called Kalego. We do this at our 2-day events. And Carrie is going to supercharge, meaning add to her Kalego. So I don't know if we have a second. Oh, there you go. So Carrie is going to actually support her vision and take it even higher and make it go to a whole new level. This might sound so weird for a second, but stay with it because something insane is trying to emerge for you that you've never seen. And most of the times we're looking for the answer at the level that we had the problem at. But it's also that problem could be a symptom for something way, way bigger. Like it might not be that you need to get over your addiction. It might be the problem is you're not connected to here. And that you're going to connect and give a gift that you never knew you had. So, awesome. So you just did your Kalego, and Carrie is going to supercharge her Kalego.
I'm going to ask a few questions. Can I ask you, what is it that you love most about this new opportunity or this new path that you're going on?
I think a part of it is that I'm hoping to teach and inspire others to experience what I have. I've experienced transformation in my own life, and so I'd like to help others find ways to do that for themselves.
And it's in like health and wellness.
Health and well-being, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. And your name one more time.
Shayna.
Shayna. Awesome. Wow. So I remember, wow. It's so cool to see you now a year later and to hear all that's happened this year. Wow. I mean, I remember you saying how you just started that day after that event last year at Kyle's event, how you just woke up that next morning, and that very next morning you said, I quit. You just gave your 2 weeks, you quit, you just got out and you made that full leap because you knew you could, you knew it was possible, and how big that was. And I remember how right after that, right after giving your notice, you listened. You stepped into your body, you stepped into listening to that heart, you really took in. Maybe you took in some music that you love, and you really listened to what is it that I get to share today? What is it that I want to, just in today, how do I get to share my gift? How do I get to show just one person about the transformation that I know is possible, that I've experienced, the wellness, the health, all of that. And so you just shared it with one person. And from there, every single day after that, you woke up in the morning, you got in touch with here, and you felt into where and how do I get to share my gift today? Do I get to share it with a video? Do I get to share it with writing? Do I get to share a blog today? Do I get to, share it with the person that checks me out at the grocery store? And so you just did it bit by bit. You just stepped more and more into your gift, to your truth, to all that you know and all that you get to share with the world and share all the wellness that there is, all the health that you know that there is, that it's possible for people. They don't have to be in their sickness anymore. They don't have to be in their fears or their job that they don't like. You got to prove it because you took that leap, how easy it was. And so this year has been so huge. It's so beautiful to see how many people you've touched, how many people are giving you these huge thank yous, writing you these long letters of how their life isn't the same. Their life is it's as if they went to sleep one night as one person and they woke up the next as a whole entirely different person, thanks to you, thanks to all of the information and all of the truth that you've brought into their lives and the tools that you brought. And that has been it's been such a gift to this world. All of the people that have been changed the world's a better place. Thousands of people are changed because of what you've brought to the world this year. And we are all extremely, extremely thankful for it.
Yeah, we are! Woo!
Give her a round of applause. Give her a round of applause. That was awesome. Now, what do you feel?
Excited, emotional, ready to quit my job tomorrow.
Well, think of this too. And I can feel, just honestly, I've seen you and your husband a couple times. There's a couple people in the audience every once in a while that I actually vibe with right away. Like every time I look at the husband, it's like, hell yeah. Like I see the whole time. And I'm like, oh, I love them, because you just feel this thing. Like I'm on the fence with this guy. Kidding, we're good friends. Have me kicked out. Because he's a bartender. Get it? It's pretty funny. That joke's 8, but that's on a scale of -5 to 6. So that's good. One thing Carrie emphasizes so big is this gift that you're giving is not for you. One of the reasons we get so stifled is we think this gift is for us. Carrie just did a gift for you, right? So that people all the times are scared to give their gift, but they're forgetting that the gift is not for them, it's for other people. That'd be like a waiter and going up to someone with their food and being like, I don't know that I should do this. And they're like, I'm starving. I'm like, I know, but what if you don't like it? I mean, I already have secure food back at that old job, so I don't know that I should give you this. They're like, please, I'm dying. And you're like, I know, but I'm scared to leave. Okay. Like that's what we're doing, right? So this gift is not for you, right? But the gift that is for you is you get to let go of the old stories of staying in survival and step into the other thing. And one other thing we forget is that the decision you're making isn't a life or death ever. Like, it's not like you couldn't, if it didn't work, go get another job. Or maybe even get that job back or something, right? It's just like, we think this is it forever and we put the stress on ourselves, but really, just go for it, right? Like, feel that feeling. Because there's so many people, because for me, I can tell you that the leaps that have happened, I didn't realize that that would lead to helping you. Right? I didn't realize that the leap 5 years ago when I felt that feeling of letting go,